Good afternoon. I'm here to do the Why I'm Still a Believer challenge. I was tagged by Kanan after watching Summer's video, and so I wanted to do as well. So I'm going to start off with a little bit of my background story and then end with a couple of main points. So I grew up in a Christian home, but didn't really become a Christian until I was 16. I was going to Hickory Grove Christian School at the time, and I'm super thankful for the things that I learned at that school because it really set up a good, strong biblical foundation as far as like knowing the Bible, studying the Bible, apologetics, things like that. And so after getting saved and graduating, I started school at Gardner-Webb, and I think that's where I really grew the most, or what sort of pushed me to grow the most in my faith. I met so many amazing men and women of God who encouraged me in my walk and who helped strengthen my relationship with Christ. And one of those people that I met at Gardner-Webb was Ariane. And if you knew Ariane when she went to Gardner-Webb, you knew her by her floppy hat, her faith, and her just infectious laughter and personality. But Ariane and I, we grew close very quickly. We both loved Christian hip-hop, and so we would listen to Christian music together. We would go to concerts together. We would worship together. We would eat dinner together. We even would go down to the lake sometimes and listen to music and pray together. I remember one time Ariane and Kat and I actually went down to the lake at night, and we exchanged salvation stories, like our testimonies. And so it was really awesome to be surrounded by people like that who encouraged me and helped me to grow spiritually. But unfortunately, I had to leave Gardner-Webb in December of 2011. So I started school at UNC Charlotte in January of 2012, and it was a completely different environment. I felt like I was the only Christian, which wasn't true. It felt that way though, and I really got depressed for those first couple of weeks. And so early on into the semester, it was January 17th, Ariane's 21st birthday. We had been talking throughout the morning, and I went into class, and she was like super excited because, of course, it's her birthday, and she was starting a new like audiovisual job at Dimensions at Chapel for Gardner-Webb, and she was super excited. And so I go into class and have a great class, and I get out, and my phone starts like notifications everywhere, Facebook, Twitter, text messages, and I'm like, what's going on? So I get a phone call from my friend Roxy, and she tells me that Ariane went to the hospital and that she didn't make it. And I'm like, what do you mean she didn't make it? Like, I truly could not comprehend at that moment what was going on. And when the reality that my best friend had passed away on her 21st birthday, when that sunk in, I was so angry with God and so confused at that time that I didn't know what to do. And throughout the following weeks, months, years even, I went through this journey with God where I doubted His goodness, I doubted His sovereignty, I doubted His love for me and for my family and friends that were also grieving Ariane's death. And it took a lot of lonely nights of me wrestling with God, of me reading His Word and learning to trust Him again for my relationship with Him to be built back up. So fast forward a few years later, actually about 2 years ago, I'm sitting in the doctor's office, and the doctor diagnoses me with lupus. And in that moment, all of those feelings of not trusting God, of being angry, of not understanding His plan came back because Ariane also had lupus. And so I was like, God, you've got to be kidding me. Like, not only did you take my best friend away, but now I have a daily, painful, physical reminder of the fact that she's gone. And I went through that season again where I was just mad at God and confused. And one day, in my quiet time, God was like, Monique, look, you can either, every time something bad happens, you can get mad at me and doubt my goodness, and you can always evaluate my, meaning God's, goodness based on the situation, or you can, trust God despite the situation, and when the hard stuff comes, still believe that He's good and sovereign and that He loves you. And so it took that moment for me to understand just that God's goodness is not dependent upon the situation. Like, it doesn't change. God is constant. And so I'm here today. I'm still a Christian today because of that, because God's grace has kept me. He's kept me in my faith despite all of this stuff, and He will keep you too. And I know that life gets rough. I've experienced some of those things, and not just two things in my life. I've had so much other stuff happen that has caused me to question God and feel like depressed and alone and confused. But God is sovereign, and He is good, and He loves you, and if you will trust Him, I promise you He's going to work it out. And so I just wanted to leave you with a thought, a prayer that I pray over myself and over my family and friends all the time. And it comes from Numbers chapter 6, verse 24 through 26. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make His face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up His countenance upon you and give you peace. So I hope that speaks to you in your situation. Just know that God has got you. Whatever you're going through, it's going to be okay. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for watching.